improvements in the winter. The impact is very, very significant. You're going to improve the thermal transmittance of any window by insulating it with Inflector. Here's a quick infrared picture study. What you're seeing is a window on a day when it was 13 degrees outside. We did an infrared picture, and what we see is that the temperature on that window is 16.3 degrees. Now we're going to go inside and look at that same window again on a 13-degree day. Temperature point number 1 is the temperature on the wall. Temperature point number 2 is the top right-hand corner of that window that you were looking at from the outside. So even though the temperature outside was 13 degrees, even though the outside window glass temperature was 16 degrees, the temperature on the inside on the Inflector was within 3 degrees of the temperature of the wall. So what you get is the comfort of a well-insulated wall and still have your window benefits of daylighting and a view. This is a report done, sanctioned by the National Fenestration Rating Council on window thermal performance, and this goes to what some of the other studies showed. What this survey showed is that windows are the primary reason people are uncomfortable or comfortable where they work. And here's how it works. During the warm weather, long-range radiation is the predominant mechanism by which windows influence thermal comfort. Windows absorb thermal heat, they re-radiate that thermal heat, and the temperature can be comfortable inside, but when that thermal heat hits your body, it makes you uncomfortable. Additionally, solar radiation is absorbed by window, increases the inside of the window surface temperature. That transmitted solar radiation reaches the body and has a significant impact on comfort. Now during winter, the cold temperature of the glass will create what's called a convection loop. The warm inside air hits the cold glass. It takes some warmth out of the air. That air falls. It pulls more air behind it. It creates its own air current, making a person feel a draft. It's not a draft. It's just a convection loop. And all of these things that are strongly influenced by the installation of an Inflector. Because the summer thing is that your major impacts on comfort are the inside window surface temperature and the transmitted solar radiation. UFACT is unimportant in the summer. What is important is the inside window surface temperature and the solar radiation. Inflector dramatically improves both of those situations. This is a picture of an installation done in San Antonio, Texas of the Gateway Club. It was our first installation at Lackland Air Force Base. As you can see, there's a lot of glass in the front. In fact, I can tell you there's 107 pieces of glass across the front of that building. We insulated that glass. We dramatically improved the comfort level. As you can see, the sun is almost hitting on that window glass and would dramatically heat up the inside surface. So we dramatically improved the performance of that foyer area. Here's a quick example. This is the inside of that same building, and what we're doing is we're looking at insulated windows. On the picture on the left, there's 3 windows to the right of the door, 2 windows to the left of the door that are insulated with Inflector. What you can immediately see is you cannot see outside very clearly on the windows with no insulator. You can't, it's too much glare. You can't see what's going on out there. With the Inflector, now you see the colors, now you see the trees, because it's actually blocking out the glare. Well, that glare is indicative of solar gain. You can see it more dramatically on the picture on the right. All these windows on the right have no insulator. The windows there behind the tree have a window insulator. On the right, you can't even see the color of the carpet where the light is coming in. Where the Inflector is, because it's reducing 3/4 of the solar gain, you're not seeing the light on the carpet. All that light that's coming down to that carpet is heating inside air and producing greenhouse heat as it's absorbed and re-radiated. So Inflector is dramatically stopping that solar heat gain and the radiant heat gain, as you can clearly see is demonstrated in that picture. This is a commercial, and what you're seeing is some Inflector on real-world installations. That's how, look at the glare when they pop that off. Even in the winter. Look at the clear view. This is the insulating skylights and verticals. That's how simple it is. So that I like to play that little commercial because it shows you a lot, and I want to play it again for you so you can look real quickly when the young lady pops off that panel at the difference in the solar gain. These are the vertical insulators. Those are the panels. Now watch. Look how you can barely see out until you put the inflector back on. And that was even with winter sun. So again, you get the benefits of daylighting, but without the solar gain and without the heat gain. Now this is a new product we're now working with, which is a new kind of insulator that we also offer our customers, which is the R+ insulator, which is a double pane clear polycarbonate insert that you can pop right in your window. Again, clear view. That's looking out this particular window insulator, which is a good enhancement to our product offerings. Watch how this goes in. That was the installation. Here it is. Just push it in, and now you got an insulated triple pane piece of glass. So this is a new thing we're offering to all of our dealer manufacturers and customers. I'd like to call your attention. This is a little bit about solar loading. This is a real nice advertisement for Solarized up in Maine. But what I want you to call your attention to is this bottom center picture, because this shows the solar loading. This particular day, you can see from the dialogue, it was 24 degrees outside. Now, if it's 24 degrees outside, the inside temperature of a double pane window on the inside is going to be about 44 degrees. But look at the dynamics of the inflector. Temperature point number 2 is the inside wall. Now, on this day when it's 24 outside but sunny, the temperature on the inflector is 112 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, that's a difference already of about 40 degrees from the wall, 40 degrees warmer than the wall, but from the window, because it's 24 outside and the window is 40 degrees, it's over 70-degree delta difference. So now instead of losing heat, you're gaining significant heat. So it's a double bang. It's the heat that you don't lose plus the heat that you gain because of the solar loading benefit of Inflector. Here's a black and white advertisement just to let you see how that looks like. So what we have is a phenomenal opportunity. We're almost coming to the conclusion of a webinar. We're going to take questions. We have a phenomenal opportunity for people interested in becoming a part of the window insulator business. And it's going to be a huge business. In the United States alone, they're estimating that energy efficient products is a $40 billion industry right now. And again, you've seen that the carbon emission business can be a $7 trillion industry global. So what we do is we offer people the opportunity to come on board as either an Inflector manufacturer or a dealer. Dealer packages are as low as $2,940. We have these types of different packages. We have equipment available with our manufacturing package. This is the manufacturing table, which has the pneumatics. It's a quality piece of equipment. This is our panel roller table. You see a roll of Inflector material. It comes on a wide roll. You'll see it in the back. So what I'd like to conclude the presentation of the webinar is with this. In the United States alone, the energy loss to windows costs consumers only, $25 billion a year with the B. So that's energy loss to windows. We can make a significant improvement on that. And let me show you how. This is a restaurant that has Venetian blinds. This restaurant has a phenomenal view, and that's the reason people come to this restaurant. It's on a yacht club. But they get no view because they have to stop the glare and the heat. Now look what they could have. This or this. With this, they're getting the view, plus they're getting phenomenal, many times more energy efficiency, stopping the solar heat, stopping the radiant heat. This is an energy efficient product. The Venetian blind isn't. It just makes shade. So customers can get energy savings, benefits. Now, if you're going to a restaurant, do you want to look at the Venetian blinds or do you want to look at that view? With that, I'd like to conclude our webinar. I'm going to briefly leave this up with our contact information while I take questions. I'm going to stop this for just a moment so I can access my sidebar to answer the questions. So bear with me just a quick moment. Okay, we're going to take questions right now. So remember, in the sidebar, you got the ability to ask questions. It says you can't flip the roller shades in the winter, can you? And yes, you certainly can. Our roller shades are specially made, where what you do is you roll them within 2 inches of the top. You grab the roller shade with your hand. You can press the button in on one end, and you flip it over. It's much like changing a toilet paper roll. You're flipping it the opposite way. So you turn it from the solar collector to the solar rejection mode. It happens in seconds. All of our products are made to change very, very quickly. And the question is, what is the difference in the cost between the panels and the roller shades? Since the primary cost is in the energy efficiency design in the material, the prices are very, very close. The installation times will be just a little bit different. But yes, all of our products made to be reversed. All right, here's a good question. It says that a Google search shows many similar products on the market. Your product sounds great, but how does it compare to all the other products out there? The key on this thing is several things: the emissivity, the reflectivity, and the solar absorption. Other products are not at all the same. Let's first talk about window tint. Window tint is on the glass. Where's the insulation? Inflector is separated from the glass. It creates an air barrier. That air barrier is part of the insulation. The inside air contacts the inflector material rather than the window, preventing your thermal heat gain, your thermal heat loss. We know of no other products that do all the things that the Inflector do, and we've been in this business for over 12 years. The Inflector is a standalone on performance, and the other products, they're solar screens. They go on the outside. They're not a seal. This is a solid, even though you can see through it, it's a solid piece of material. So there are no other products that do all the things, and there's nothing out there that's been as extensively tested as the Inflector. Let me see if you've made a note of this. I want to go back to a slide. I will come back to this slide. I want to come back to a slide that actually shows that Keith had. This one right here. Okay, here are the different options you have for energy efficiency, and here's how they address some things. Remember, the goals to good energy efficiency is CS is control sunlight, RHT is reduce heat transfer, SI is stop infiltration, and 4 is control humidity. Blinds, shutters, shades, and window curtains help control sunlight, but they don't reduce heat transfer, they don't stop infiltration, they don't control humidity. Same thing with window film, same thing with solar screen. Double pane and triple pane windows they don't control sunlight because they're clear. They help with all these other regards, but not near to the extent as you've seen with the Inflector. Only Inflector not only deals with all those issues, but in a very, very efficient way. It is the most comfort enhancement, under a 5-year payback, long lifespan, and UV protection. So I hope that answers about similar products. There aren't similar products. What is the effect light reflection back into the room due to the lights into the room? In the summer configuration, there is no reflection of the light back into the room because you've got your dark surface on the inside and your reflective side outside. In your winter configuration, when your reflective side in, there is some light coming back in from the lights inside the room, but the genius of the Inflector design is we use an embossing pattern.